Hi guys, and welcome to a brand new series on the channel. It's FM20. It's finally bloody here. Oh god. So, firstly, if you're new to the channel, this isn't the type of save I normally do, but we're just doing Chelsea for the beta so I can learn the new game, and I figured I wanted to do a slightly bigger save for once. But the great thing about this save is, of course, because Chelsea are under a transfer embargo, we're kind of having to rely on the things I normally like to do anyway, which is the young players at the club, bringing those through, and of course, probably still going to go after young players after that. Now, firstly, I love this screen, by the way. Look at this gopping bit of kit here in the bottom corner. I did the old generated face thing, and I mean, I guess with the glasses, I need to put a pair of glasses on to make this work. I don't have any. I've only got sunglasses here. It's not really quite the same thing, is it? Also, drop a like on the video since it's the first one of FM20. We might as well do it at the start of the episode for once. But don't worry, in this episode, we're going to go over sort of the basic sort of things, my plans for this save, and all sorts of other jazz. Have a look at the squad, have a look at the youth players in particular. Very, very important stuff indeed. I just thought I'd start on this screen for once because it's a little bit different, and we all like a little bit differentness. Also, since it's the beta again, those of you that might be on the fence about starting a channel to do with FM, take the plunge now. It's the beta. Jump in, have some fun, and by the time the full game comes out, you'll have a few videos under your belt. It'll be bloody lovely. If you are thinking of doing that, I've got a link in my description to basically every single bit of kit I use. I might have to update that actually currently. So don't take my advice to say you have to use these things, but this is just what I use, and yeah, so that's in the description as well, along with kind of all kinds of other stuff, I suppose. I'm also going to be giving away possibly one, maybe even two copies of FM20 when the full game drops as well, once we start Notts County. But first, let's get into Chelsea. £130,000 a week. I am replacing Frank Lampard, of course, who was there for probably days, I'm guessing. Now, I'm going to be updating things like the name stuff and all that sort of jazz, but we've got the main stuff in like now. We've got the face packs, we've got the kit. I don't know if you've got the kits. Yes, we do have the photorealistic kits, something I thought I would try out, and of course the badges. Still need to do a name fix, but I haven't had a chance to do that yet because, well, I wanted to get this video out tonight, and usually I don't bother, but today I thought we'd take that plunge. So, Chelsea. I'm a Fulham fan, so this is going to be extra fun for me. Not that I have any particular, I know a lot of Chelsea fans, so in fact, yeah, I don't mind Chelsea, to be honest. I thought I wanted to give them a crack. So, this is our best lineup. I'm not going to use this shape because I always feel like I end up using this shape or a variation of it with a defensive midfielder instead of an attacking midfielder. I want to go 4-2-4 with this lot because Chelsea, I've just been thinking about this. They've got fantastic wide players, fantastically tall strikers that are big and strong in the air, Giroud and Tammy Abraham, pacey too, and great width. And amazingly, like got Kante who can control the middle of the park with either Kovacic or Jorginho or even Mason Mount. Excellent passes of the ball to spread that play. I want to play wide, lots of crosses, really try and just dominate teams in terms of aerial rather than just keeping the ball. I want to try something different, you know? Now, of course, we've got this sort of stuff, club vision, attacking football, play possession football is desired. I don't know whether they're going to get it or not, because if we're going to be lumping a load of crosses in, I sense that we might not get much of the ball, but it depends on what they mean by that. They want us to get players under the age of 22 and develop young players using the youth system, so that's quite appropriate considering we can't sign anybody. Play entertaining football? Depends what you find entertaining. That one feels very subjective to me. And sign high reputation players is preferred. I guess we're Chelsea. We kind of have no choice in that matter. So, sign young players for a profit. That's interesting. Maximum one-year contracts for players over the age of 30. I love this. This is very deep. Seems incredibly deep, in fact. Even more so than when I was playing it down at SI. Lots of options. We can obviously change this when we get in, though, and I will potentially have a little look and see if there's anything that I might want to take out. Like, maybe not reach the FA Cup final. Let's focus on getting back in the Champions League, maybe. That should be our main focus, I'd say. Carabao Cup, not important. Super Cup, who cares? League, very, very important. Right, sorry, I just had to save the game as you know how things go. So yes, transfer embargo placed upon the club, which means we're basically not allowed to sign anybody this season, be it this transfer window or January. None of that. Which means we will still be scouting stuff because, let's face it, with the fact that there's quite a long time, in fact, till the full game drops, we're probably going to get in maybe 2 seasons. So we're going to have to do some transfers, but youth intakes are going to be great. Now, obviously, there's inductions for stuff, but I already know all about that, so I'm not going to bother with stuff like that. Now we can actually get in and have a little look at things. What I kind of want to do is just kind of look through the squad for now. So we've got a lot of quality. Kante, interesting that Rudiger's rated so highly. In fact, that's kind of good. It shows we've got a solid backline with good keeper. Obviously, Morata's out on loan. Going to be leaving anyway. Azpilicueta, great option though, just because Dave, he can play anywhere. Well, anywhere. You wouldn't put him in goal. Then again, he'd probably do the right job. Jorginho and Kovacic, great options in the midfield for a deep line playmaker. Suggests we're probably going to have to play a deep line playmaker because I want to fit one of these two in the team. Mason Mount's good there too, I think. Willian on the wing, Pedro, Pulisic, lots of competition for places. I think, though, I want to go 4-2-4. And I'll tell you for why. Because I really do think that the best approach for us, perhaps, is to just play to our strengths with what we've got. Since we can't sign anybody, I kind of have to just kind of go with what we've got. Now, I know that you could get a lot of good football out with Chelsea because you've got great midfielders and decent amount of attacking midfielders too. But they've got such amazing wide men and great tall strikers that I really do think that we could take advantage of that and just get that ball out wide using those excellent midfielders to spread the play nicely and then get some great balls into the box. That's going to be my plan anyway. It's a little bit derivative perhaps, but I don't really play like that, and I want to try and do that when I've got better players and see how I can pull it off, to be honest, because I think it's about maximising the potential for chances. That's what we're going to try and do. We're not going to build the tactic now. That'll be in the next episode when we actually play our first game of the season, talk about the friendlies and all sort of other stuff that will happen over it. This is just kind of an introduction. I apologise for speaking so fast. I'm just excited, and I hope you are as well. So the club vision is all of this. They'll come back and talk to me about this as well, so I'll get a chance to take some of this off. This stuff is cool. It gives us a much better idea of how well we're actually doing, so that's quite important. Dev Center, this is going to be super important. We're just going to skip this for now. Skip. Did you hear me say skip? First team candidates. Ampadu, he is out on loan, and if there was a way to get him back, I might be tempted just because he looks bloody fantastic, and honestly, I would like to give him some game time, and I don't know if him being out on loan is the best thing. Players to potentially take out, maybe even out on loan. Options. Youth candidates, obviously, will handle that in, where does it say? March. Sometimes it's April. That's fine. I'm going to be keeping an eye on this throughout this save. Now, as for the format, it's not going to be like Wesker. It's going to be much more like my standard saves like Bologna, Stockport, etc., where we play a few games off camera, come back and do a live com, sometimes two, depending on the way things shape up, basically. So we're going to be moving through things a lot faster than we have done with Wesker. But I'm still going to be using some of the sort of ideas that I came up with during Wesker with the way that we did the training. I took over a lot more responsibility at the club, and I really do think that you can get the most out of players, even by doing press conferences. I know Revolutionary will be given up by the end of the month. It's October 31st. Have a spooky day. As for the under 18s, I mean, this guy, Miles Pert Harris, looks pretty solid. I'm just literally going off of the back of this. But it's going to be really nice to be able to see who's performing well in training based on average rating as well. So we can look and see, is there anyone worth moving up or down? Lovely old job. We're going to have to get some new staff. Don't worry, we'll handle all of that very, very soon. Dynamics is obviously a bit poor to begin with, but usually this will change the moment you introduce yourself to the squad. I do want to put some team bonding sessions in the preseason training too, just to make sure that we get a handle on this, because player at the club who would be considered very happy. Well, that seems like a good thing if he's happy, but if all the others are happy and he's very happy, that hardly seems like a negative thing, really. I suppose it's a yellow arrow, so I don't know. Now, obviously, we've got an enormous transfer budget, which is useless, but that's fine because we're going to sort of scout stuff for next year anyway. Looking at young players, ideally under the age of 22, could cost us a lot of money, but I never get the opportunity to do this at the start of the saves. I just never do. It's going to be magnificent. But it does mean I can dump a load of this into squad bonuses for the first season, because what else are we going to do with the damn stuff? Spend all of it on scouting, perhaps, but the rest of it will go on squad bonuses, because I feel like you do get a little boost from that, and if it makes the players happy, it makes me happy too. As you can see, we've got these nice sort of photorealistic kits. We've only got these for the Premier League sides, but I just thought it'd be nice to bring this sort of stuff in. We'll get everything else like this stuff sorted for the next episode. Now, there are some friendlies scheduled. Looks like we're going on a tour of Hong Kong, in fact. Interesting time to be doing that. Cool. And then, obviously, I'll schedule a few more in there as well. Not too many. We don't want to overdo it, as our first game of the season is at home to Watford. Given Watford's current form, that would seem like an eminently winnable fixture. This doesn't appear to be based on real-life fixtures, does it? I actually can't remember. Did Chelsea play Watford at home first? It's been a while. I also just wanted to ask you, since it's first episode of the brand new series and FM20's out, those of you who have played it so far, which honestly by the time you see this probably would have only been for an hour or two at the very most, what do you think of it so far? Because obviously, I've seen stuff of it. This is obviously going to be different to that, I like to think anyway, because obviously things would have moved along a little bit since then. But I'm interested to know what you guys think of it, since you're going to be playing the beta at the same time as me, which is kind of nice. Just to have another little look at this, to do with the potential of the youngsters, particularly with the likes of Fikayo Tomori. Excellent ball-playing defender. Maybe we could use ball-playing defenders, in fact, because we've got a lot of them at the club. So maybe we could try that out. Don't know about Tomori, although then again, even at 21, his 3-star ability, and with that potential, good God. Hudson-Odoi, we've got a few injuries too, which isn't ideal, as you can see. Van Hinkel's out. I don't think he's ever going to play for us at all, and we would probably try to move him on if we literally were allowed to. Can we sell players? I don't think we can. Hudson-Odoi, though, will be very, very useful. Reece James, potentially, maybe down the line, although admittedly you can see the potential ceiling is kind of already being met a little bit. Loftus-Cheek, excellent player again. Another deep line playmaker. This team is absolutely chock-a-block of deep line playmakers. Jamal Blackman and Victor Moses are both out on loan and injured anyway. Alvaro Morata also doesn't matter. There's not too many injuries, to be fair. Like, we've got a decent squad here. Like, this is an insanely nice squad. And I just really think that that's the best way we can go about this. I know Kante is probably best as a box-to-box midfielder, but I don't really feel comfortable having a deep line playmaker and a box-to-box there if we're going to be playing such an attacking style of football. Then again, how attacking do we really want to go? What I might do as well is... No, I won't do that. I'm not going to build off of that. I'm going to make my own tactic as I always do. Try to sort of build it up from the ground up and see what... I'll just test it out in friendlies as I always do, and hopefully by the time the Watford game comes around, we'll have something workable. It'll be a pretty good barometer, because you feel like against Watford at home, we should be winning, 2 or 3-0. That's a comfortable result. My main focus, as it's often in these saves, is just going to be creating opportunities, having a decent number of shots on target, most importantly, and trying to minimise long shots and conceding, and try to reverse that for the opponents, trying to limit what they can do. That's just kind of what I like to look for. That being said, I think cross completion is going to be a much more important stat for this save, particularly with Chelsea, than it has been for any of my other saves recently, because it's a totally different style of football. Get ball out wide, put cross in box. Maybe hit early crosses, it depends. I'll have to see how the match engine looks when I actually start playing some of the friendlies, and then we'll maybe decide how things look, because there's a few things I definitely noticed that are going to be interesting, like players shooting into the side netting was something I also noticed a fair amount on the alpha, so we'll see if things change now that we're up to the beta, which is going to be bloody marvellous. I'm not going to let this one drag on for too long, because after all, it's only an introduction episode, but tomorrow is going to be the big stuff. We're going to be coming back for the Watford game, talk about all this stuff off camera, hopefully have some more stuff to show you, we'll do some training and all that sort of jazz. Hopefully I'll have a tactic built that kind of works for us. I mean, we've still got some time to sort of flatten it out. I think our first big game, because we can ignore this, let's face it, is Liverpool. Liverpool at home. That's going to be an incredibly difficult match. These ones, you'd feel like we kind of have to be winning all of them, really. Wolves away, actually, that's fairly tough. But then we don't know how the game is going to treat Wolves this year. So, if you've enjoyed this episode and you're looking forward to the new series, I know it's a little bit different, and if you're new to the channel, more importantly, hit that subscribe button. It's going to be Chelsea coming up for the next couple of weeks, and then we're going to be doing rebuilding Notts County, where we're going to hopefully take Notts County from the Vanarama National League, nearly forgot that then, to the Champions League and beyond. Because we're not only going to rebuild them, we're going to build them beyond that. Like putting a skyscraper back up and then just building another one on top of it. That's a terrible analogy, Matt. Never mind. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.